Hey everybody, I'm John Dietz, speaker, trainer, coach with John Dietz Coaching and business builder with eXp Realty. Thanks for joining me this morning and let's get started. So today I want to talk to you about loyalty. You hear this word a lot in the real estate business. For me, I'm a business builder, which is another word of saying I'm a recruiter. Okay. I know you guys love that, right? So, in the last 10 years, 7 years with Keller Williams as a team leader for one of the top market centers in the country, and the past 3 years building my business on the EXP platform, part of my job description is attracting talent in order to grow my real estate organization. Or as a team leader for Keller Williams, recruiting real estate agents to the market center in order to grow the market center. So this word loyalty is very interesting to me. One of the things that I hear a lot is, I love my broker, I'm comfortable, I'm loyal, and I think that's great. I really do. By the way, I felt the same way you did for a long time, 15 years with Keller Williams, including 7 years as a team leader. I was unrecruitable, right? I was never going to go anywhere. Um, and I was loyal. And I think that's great. And I'm a big proponent of loyalty. I think it's important, and I think you should be loyal, but I think it goes both ways. And what I mean by that is if you're loyal to your company, my question to you is your company loyal to you? Uh, you're working as a real estate technician, trading time for money, closing real estate deals, and that's how you make money, which is fine. We all start out as technicians. I think at some point, some of us want more. We want the opportunity to have ownership. We want an exit plan where we can create leverage that leads to financial freedom and legacy wealth for our family. And I think there's nothing wrong with that either. But when that does happen, you're guilted in to staying where you are, status quo, because you should be loyal. Well, my question to you is the brokerage loyal to you? If you're with, for example, if you're with any of the anywhere umbrella companies like Coldwell Banker, Century 21, Better Homes, and so on, did they reach out to you and ask you what you thought before uh, they sold, merged, acquisition, whatever you want to call it, to Compass? And of course, I know the answer is no. Of course, they didn't. And if you're with Keller Williams and Keller Williams just sold a large portion of the company to a tech company, uh, did they reach out to you and ask you what you thought about that before they did that? And again, I know the answer is no. And I'm not being critical of these brokerages. Reaching out to real estate agents because you guys are the ones that I care about. 3 years ago, when I started out on my own building a business on the EXP platform, I got super laser focused on real estate agents should be owners in the business. I think we've reached a time in the real estate industry where real estate agents who have been at the bottom of the food chain forever have an opportunity and should have an opportunity to have ownership in the business. I think the model at EXP is perfect, where Glenn Sanford created a company, eliminated a lot of the unnecessary cost. And by doing that, he put the real estate agent up at the top of that food chain in a 50-50 partnership with the company, where real estate agents have the opportunity to create wealth through equity and also build a business on the EXP platform with an agreement from Glenn Sanford that they would take 50% of the money that was coming into the company, otherwise known as company dollar, and they would pay it back out. 50% of every dollar that comes in gets paid back out to real estate agents like me who are choosing to build a business on their platform as an owner building a business on a national platform, I think that's the way it should be. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And by the way, I love EXP, don't get me wrong, but I'm also not so loyal that if a better opportunity came along, I wouldn't look at it. This is about you and your family. This is about me and my family. I don't think that'll ever happen. I don't think anybody will ever be able to come to me with a better model than EXP. So I don't expect to go anywhere. But then again, I don't expect to be doing this for the rest of my life either. My goal is to create a path to financial freedom and legacy wealth for my family, not for me, but in the next 5 to 10 years, my goal is to get to a place where my family is financially okay without me. If anything were to happen to me, they're okay. And I'm here, I'm with EXP because that's the best platform in order for somebody to do this. So when I'm calling real estate agents and I hear I'm happy and I'm comfortable, my first thought is why? Tell me why. Tell me why you're happy and comfortable. You know, one of my biggest challenges is we settle for good when great is still an option. And I don't think anybody ever got into the real estate business with a goal of being good. I think everybody got into or being average or failing, right? You hear 75% of real estate agents get out of the business within the first year. And I don't think anybody got their license to fail, and yet 75% do. I have a real challenge with that. I also have a challenge with people settling versus going for more. I don't think you were created for that. I think God created you for greatness. I think you were designed for success. And I think that settling for comfort versus being uncomfortable is kind of sad to me. Here's what I know. People always choose the the status quo until the pain of the status quo is greater than the pain of change. We settle for status quo because it's comfortable. I'm challenging you to not do that. I'm challenging you to think bigger. Uh, if I were talking to your kids as a teacher, a trainer, or a coach, and I wanted to tell them that anything is possible, they can do absolutely anything with their lives. Would you come to me and say, no, be more realistic? Tell them that they should strive for average, that uh, they should think smaller. Of course you wouldn't. You would never do that. So why are you telling yourself that? Go for more. Be willing to take a leap of faith and be willing to go for greatness. You were designed for that. And back to the loyalty conversation. You owe nobody anything. You don't owe your brokerage anything. You don't owe me anything, but you do owe yourself and your family the best opportunity for your family. Be loyal to them. If you're going to be loyal to somebody, that's who you should be loyal to. All right, everybody. John Dietz, speaker, trainer, coach. John Dietz coaching, business builder with eXp Realty. And as always, make it a great day.